Hello, hello. Hi, everyone. It's Friday night. Party. Party on Facebook. Let me fix my Southwestern wrap. Thanks for joining me on a Friday Foukery fun day. This live is going to be more open forum because I would love your input. And I was looking for inspiration. And so I looked in my memories and the perfect thing came up, which is the cult of personality. So I will give it just a moment for some people to join, and then we're going to dive deep into the cult of personality. And I'm just looking down at my tablet. I'm going to share this on my other Facebook page. If you guys aren't following my Elm Awakening Facebook business page, please do so. I'm probably going to start doing the lives from that page instead of my personal page. Okay. Just getting this set up here, and going to talk about the cult of personality. Just bear with me a moment. Hi, Christine. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you. Copy link. All right. Hi, Amy. Thanks for being here. Hi, Troy. Yeah, I just started. You're right on time. I'm just getting my getting it organized on my tablet here, and then I'll start talking. But I wanted this to be today. Today's topic will be more of a group share event, and we're going to talk about the cult of personality. So I was looking for inspiration. I have a lot of things that I could talk about, a lot of deep subjects, of course, but I'm not feeling super motivated today, and I don't really want to go in too deep into anything. So I looked into my memories for inspiration on maybe a subject that I have already covered, and the perfect thing came up. So this year, a year ago, I wrote, I grew up in a cult, the cult of personality. Are you an active member? Hashtag detached from your own bullshit. Because that's what this whole process is, right? Is shedding the faulty belief systems, shedding the culture that shaped us and molded us and told us who to be. I know that I had to detach. I mean, this entire process is about detaching. Each time you level up, you can't level up unless you let go of the density and the attachments. And attachments look like belief systems, cultural differences, all of that. So this came through a lot of times when I'm just kind of meditating or, spacing out, and things will come to me, and it's usually in the form of a song. And I was always a huge music person constantly. And then I ended up working in the music industry 2 different times in my life, basically before I went into high tech, and then after I got out of high tech. So that was always my jam, and I was always into music. I was always memorizing lyrics. I went to every concert that I ever could get my hands on. So when a message comes through, it tends to be in the form of like a line from like a really old song that I haven't even listened to in like 20 years or something. That's all right, Amy. I'll catch you soon. Mwah. Thanks for joining. Thanks for popping on. And so something that came through was that song. So it's by Living Color. No, yes, Living Color, Cult of Personality. And I wish I could play it for a second. But the last time I tried to play music on one of my lives, it got completely erased and Facebook like punched me in the face over it. So hi, April. So I don't want to risk that, but it's a sick song. It's totally, it's so fitting. And a lot of these songs that as a youngster, let's say teenager or early 20s, when I was just in the flow of life, I used to just sing them and not understand the lyrics at all. And now when I re-listen to them, 20 whatever years later, I'm like, oh shit, this is what they're talking about. It's like my mind is now expanded to where I can understand the symbolism and what they're really talking about. So this song, I would suggest you guys listen to it. And I brought up the lyrics on my post. No, I don't even know where I want to go with this. Anyway, something else that they put in the song is whoever the politician is, was it Kennedy? I can't recall, who said the only thing we have to fear is fear itself. But it was from one of the presidents or some politician in the like 60s maybe said it. So they used that clip in their song, and it's so, so, so true. And then when I posted that, somebody said, false energy appearing real. Fear fears truth. There is also a line in there that says, when a leader speaks, that leader dies, right? Anytime somebody who has a voice in this corrupted matrix, anytime they speak, they end up dying. And most of that is just symbolic and to keep the peasants quiet. God forbid that we have an uprising of the peasants, aka us. So I wanted to talk about some of the cults that I participated in. And a cult, I call culture a cult, right? They cultivate us in the culture. And it's all a cult. So for instance, fashion is a cult. The music industry is a cult. Hollywood is a cult. Sporting events is a cult. Drinking, bars, all of it. It's all a cult. And we put these personality overlays over our soul, our body, and it's kind of like a belief system. It's like we get programmed with these things. Either we accept these programs and we consent to it, or they're embedded in us from birth. Maybe we grew up in a very religious household, so that cult is now embedded in us, and that shapes our belief systems. And this process of awakening and then ascension, climbing this ladder to the higher realms, is all about detachment. And that's why we have so many deaths, so many spiritual deaths, so many energetic deaths, is because once you awaken and see something from a different perspective that you have been participating in and consenting in as real or as your life or as your personality, and then you realize you have to drop it in order to heal, that is a death, because we hold that density within our body. So dropping that is a process, body, mind, spirit, soul. So one of my biggest cults that I participated in was partying and drinking alcohol. And once I started to awaken, I was still partying and socially drinking, although that was quite often. I had to realize that most every bad decision I had made in my life had been the result of me drinking. I'm going to swipe. Thank you guys for being here. I'm going to swipe. I have the comments rolling, but it distracts me. So thank you for showing up and thank you for being here. It's just Friday Foukery. We're just going to ramble on about the cult of personality, which is that Living Color song, but also what we all participate within this controlled manipulative matrix. And so I'm just speaking about my personal experience, and then today's just open forum. I'm not feeling like I want to go too deep on this subject, but I do want to bring it forward. And then if anybody wants to participate, please drop it in the comments. And what I'll do, I have comments swiped away, so after I get my thoughts out, I'll bring the comments back and we'll just kind of have a discussion. So probably the biggest cult, I was never religious. I never grew up in a religious household. So my biggest cult that was afflicting my body and my avatar was drinking and partying, and the personality that I had created for myself around drinking. And as I started to awaken and I started to realize that my soul was deeply exhausted from this world and from this life, and I started to realize that most of the bad decisions I had made in my life, which had really changed my trajectory, had been made when I was drinking, or partying, or just kind of in that mode. Once I was a mom with young children living in the burbs, I was tragically suburban and would drink wine with all the neighborhood moms. That was just our daily, all the kids would run around and all the moms would just pound bottles of wine day after day after day. It was insane. That is a cult. That's one of the underground suburban cults that I participated in, right? Culture. That was the culture of my tragically suburban existence. And once I was removed from my tragically suburban existence, which was a series of downfalls, I didn't choose to be removed, but the world removed me. I had to reflect on all of the bad decisions that I had made because of these habits and because of this cult that I was participating in. So that led to me getting sober, and then I was still inserted into a group of friends that were still participating actively in that cult, right? In that culture. And then I had this entire experience of my friends. It was like the friend group flipped inside out. So I was always the party girl. I was always the drunk one. I was hilarious, right? I mean, this is like, I really wasn't, but I thought I was a comedian when I was drinking and all of this kind of thing. I had all of these personality overlays that I believed about myself because that is what I had created about myself being in the cult of drinking. So when I stopped and I started working on myself and I started to not engage in those behaviors, but I was still inserted in a friend group, I got to witness how that friend group nearly lost their mind because they couldn't understand who I was, because I wasn't anyone except my personality overlays. I was not operating out of my truest, deepest soul aspect. I was operating on these overlays that I had put on myself, based on years of just the same behavior, continual behavior. And so I watched my friends, they were now, like, if we would go out to a concert or, just do the normal things that we would do, go out to dinner, everybody would down bottles of wine, and here I am just sober, and I'm a little more quiet, more reserved, because I'm not really drinking and getting loud and engaging and, being boisterous. I was just more like reserved and chill and just kind of observing this dynamic. And, I start to get comments like, oh my God, I can't believe, like, we're the drunk ones and, like, you're taking care of us now. It's usually always the opposite. And I was like, damn. Yeah, that's exactly it. And so I had to come to a lot of realizations about the cults of personality that I participated in. And it just made me realize, I mean, it just opened my world up to so much. And that's why I talk about, like, if people are still regularly drinking, you're not giving your body and your soul the time and the space it needs to evolve. Like, that's very low vibrational, and it's meant to control and keep you in your patterns. It was keeping me tragically suburban. It was keeping me as a certain role in my friend group. And once the dynamic shifted, actually the entire friend group fell apart. Okay, I'm gonna just swipe back to comments and see who's here. All right, cool. It's actually easier for me to see comments on my tablet while we're live, so let me do that. It's really hard to scroll comments on my phone when I'm recording because they bounce. I try to go to the bottom to see who's the last one to comment, and it bounces me to the top. It's not very smooth and succinct. Hi, James. Thanks for joining. All right. Let me see what I can do on my tablet here. Oh, I see. There's a delay. That's not going to work. All right. Hi, Craig. Thanks for joining. All right. Well, I'm just going to have to deal with the comments because I'm not able to... It's not caught up on my tablet. So if I went into my tablet, it's like the live would start over. So that's not going to work. So let me go back into memories. So this is just a Friday open forum. I'm just inviting anyone who wants to talk about anything to come on. And this is my 4th day of doing lives in a row. On Tuesday, I decided I need to show up. I need to start showing up for myself and for others and just discussing my own personal experiences because they align with a lot of other people's experiences. And I think it's important that we all kind of come together to discuss the weirdness that is this awakening and this ascension. And we've gone down, I mean, the last 3 days of my lives have been over an hour and a half of me talking. Yesterday was mostly Dana. If you guys missed my friend Dana, we went down some serious rabbit holes, so that live can be replayed. Everything's on my wall, so you can check it out at your leisure, or I am also uploading everything to YouTube. So my YouTube channel is ELM Awakening. And all of these, once I'm done, I'm posting to YouTube, and I'm really just trying to build my following and build my sacred temple because I have a lot to share, and I'm finally, like I've said in the previous lives, I'm finally feeling like it's safe to share these type of topics and subjects. Oh, look, we've got a troll. And hold on, got a troll in the mix. Oh shit, how do I hold up? So Troy, yeah, I would love for you to share. I know you're driving right now, so whenever you are able to share, I would love for you to come on. That would be awesome. Okay, hold up, you guys. Gotta try and figure this out on my tablet. Oh, we're friends. Oh, that is tragic. Oh, I see. Let me look at this. We're going to talk about I'm just talking about the cult of personality. Oh, this troll. Okay. the troll that's in the comments, he waved at me back in 2019. And I don't play those games. So we'll do a quick little block. Block, block. There we go. One troll thwarted. Let's get it popping. How many more to go? That's my first troll, and I've done 4 consecutive lives. So that's not bad. I do have trolls that actually follow me. They create new profiles, and they are the same idiots. And they create new profiles as different names, and then they, but they troll and they say the same shit over and over and over. And of course, they're all men, because these trolls be hating women. And we know how that goes for the women in the chat. This is nothing new to me. I have been sharing my truths since 2017 in a very loud voice. And I actually mentioned this on one of my lives this week, whenever, that I spent the first couple years when I was writing really strongly worded posts. All I did was block trolls. Because once you find your voice in this matrix and you're no longer a subservient, sleepy slave, they come after you in force. And if I didn't have the wherewithal that I had, it might bother me. But I have dealt with so many of these. These people aren't even embodied. These are soulless AI robots. It's like the Agent Smith effect in the movie The Matrix. As soon as Neo starts to wake up to his power, all the Agent Smiths come out of the woodwork. And they can look like family. They can look like your best friend. Trust me. I've seen it all from everyone. I am highly detached because of this. So we just keep it moving around here. Hi, Jay. Yes, great song. That song rocks. I remember that. God, I think that was grade school for me. 80s or 90s? 80s. 90s? 80s. I don't know. I didn't look up when it was, but that song is sick. Okay, so Troy. Ah, yes. Yep, he is 9 years clean, December 15, and awakening was a cosmic explosion. It's true. Once you start to drop these cults of personality, the cultures and the belief systems that we adopt because the Matrix tells us so, tells us to, or our household, the way we grew up, or whatever our parents believed, etc., whatever is in the family, once we start to drop those and we find our own soul aspect and get in touch with our own template and what we want to really do upon this earth, and what we're meant to do upon this earth, all of this stuff, it just falls away. It's a process, though. I want to see something. Can I see who is in here? It's really strange to do this on my phone. I don't have a lot of options. Okay. Oh, I can. Okay, cool. All right. So I want to tell a story about my immediate friend group when I stopped drinking, but I still had my best friend group. I was in a group of 4. There was 4 of us best girlfriends since high school. We went to high school together. We partied like crazy at college and in our 20s. They went to college. I partied with them in college, at their college. And then we ended up, going to each other's weddings, having children around the same time. We did like all of that stuff together. And then we were all tragically suburban together as well. And this was between Portland and Seattle. But when I got sober and I was hanging out with these friends and they were like, oh my God, they didn't even know what to do with me. They didn't know who I was because I didn't know who I was, right? So they were like, oh my God, I can't believe that you're the one taking care of us. You're the sober one. You're now the driver. What's going on? And I started to realize, like, wait a second. These best friends that I have like gone through nearly all of my life experiences with, they don't know me. and they don't even know what to do with me. And of course, I was trying to figure out who I was without drinking in a social setting. I'd never had to do that before. You know, that was just part of my day to day. It's just so accepted. It's so widely accepted. And I started to realize, I'm like, wow, these best friends that I attach to, they don't know who I am. Like, are we friends? And I just started to see some really strange patterning around that. And now, granted, within a group of 4 girlfriends, some girls are closer than others. So there were 3 of us that were single the longest, and one had actually a high school sweetheart that ended up marrying that person. So the 3 single ones, you know, we were partying our entire 20s, and the coupled one would kind of pop in and out, but she really wasn't, you know, so she wasn't in like this inner circle thing where, you know, we were calling each other all the time. You know, she was kind of doing her own thing, but she was still in the friend group, a big part of it. But I started to see that, like, wait a second, she doesn't know me, and actually I don't even think she likes me, and actually I don't even like her. Right? Because when you're drinking and you have a surface level relationship with people that revolves around, like, yeah, we're going to go to dinner and we're going to go to concerts and we're going to have fun, or we're going to get our kids together, but the moms are still drinking. You know, we're always having wine or having a cocktail, even if it's just one, just casually, that is always in the mix. And even when it's casual and it's in the mix, it still doesn't allow you and your soul to come forward. Like, that overlay is still over you. And this one particular friend is a therapist by trade. And ironically, as I started to awaken, drop the alcohol, there was 1 year that I cried for an entire year because my soul was so tired and so exhausted, and I didn't understand anything that was going on. So once I dropped the alcohol, my soul started to come through, and I was just deeply, deeply, deeply sad. Sad for my life, sad for all these bad experiences I had put myself in due to having these personality overlays, due to belonging to the cult of drinking. And so because she was a therapist, we took a girls' road trip to go see a concert in Washington in this beautiful, the Gorge Amphitheater. If you guys know about it, it's gorgeous, absolutely stunning. And I said, hey, can you put your like business hat on? Can we have a talk about this? Like, I'm drowning. And so I was telling her, like, I can't quit crying. I don't know what's going on. Like, I'm just purging, and I couldn't make sense of it. And her response, now granted, this is the woman that I was kind of starting to realize, like, actually, I don't think we're really friends. Her response to me is, you know, I think you're on the bipolar spectrum, and I think you should probably go see a psychiatrist so they can prescribe you medication. I just want to say something about that. If you have a friend that tells you to go get yourself medicated, that person hates your fucking guts. Okay? That person hates you. And even though I was purging my soul, I was crying, I was so low, and I went to one of my best friends from high school, and this is what she said to me. Even though I wasn't in my full body yet, or whatever, I was in this process that I could not make sense of, I knew right there we were not friends, and that was the last time I have ever spoken to her or seen her. That was that. That was that. That was that for me. I knew right there, this woman actually hated my guts and has been pretending our entire lives. That was an over 20-year friendship, maybe a 25+ year friendship. And that was that. Because even though I was low, I knew that she just kicked me when I was absolutely at my worst. So that was that. And then the other one that was on the road trip with us, we spoke after, and she's like, how do you feel about how all that went down? And I said, you know what? That's that for me. And I ended up dropping that friend as well. So out of the 4 of us, I'm only in contact with one, because I realized that as I was sober and I removed these personality overlays, this cult off of myself, and I could see clearly what was happening around me, I actually realized that these women in my friend group, I realized my role in the friend group. I was the drunk one. I was the crazy one. I was the whatever. And as soon as that flipped, these bitches were not having it with me. And I realized, I'm like, you guys are not my friends to care about me deeply. You guys are my handlers put in my life to keep me at the bottom barrel level, to keep me in my cult, to keep me in my programs, to keep me in my belief systems. They perpetuated that. And once I broke out, nobody knew what to do. All of a sudden, they wanted to medicate me. And if I didn't have, I've always had a strong sense of self, even though all of my personality, the cult of personality overlays, drowned out that. But I understood, like, wait a second. Somebody wants to medicate me when I'm trying to get myself healthy? Like, I just dropped alcohol. Why would I want to pick up a medication? That's absolutely the worst thing you can say to somebody. So that was that. 25 plus year friendships. I spent every holiday with these people. Our children grew up together. And when I saw what was actually the dynamic of the friendship, that was that. I'm not going to be the crazy one, the drunk one, the one that everybody needs to keep. I was the one in trauma. I was the one with the drama, and that's where they like to keep me. And when I was shedding all of that off of myself and getting myself healthy, no. That was not okay. So that ended that. And that was my beginning. That was the first time that I had to start deeply detaching from things in an instant. Because I saw that that was actually hate. That was self-hate, and that was hate from people that I thought loved me. From the closest people in my life. Okay, we've got some comments. Yeah, Jay, it was something else. Okay, so, Troy, I'm going to try to read this, but every time I touch the comments, they flicker. They like flip up and down. So, Troy, I drank and drugged to fit in. When I finally quit and had the dark night of the soul and started to do the real work, I realized I wasn't supposed to fit in, just didn't know it. I suffer no more. That is correct. That's correct. Hi, David. All the ego people, the great lies on lies, feeding the bullshit. The freedom now is a blessing. Absolutely. This is such a blessing. Craig, thank you. He says, good for you. Yep. So that is just that's probably the biggest cult. That's the biggest culture, the personality cult that I had to drop from myself. And that actually led me on this awakening journey. Well, it catapulted me. What led me on this was a lot of trauma in my life. And, but I talked about that in other videos. I won't go today. I'm a little tired and I'm not like super into this and super motivated, but I wanted to show up. So I'm just kind of going to lightly share. And then if you guys want to share, I would love that. But basically this entire live, the cult of personality is about that living color song from, I think, the 80s. It's amazing. And I posted about it a year ago, so it's in my Facebook memories today. And I'm like, this is a good topic. Because so many, I mean, what we see in the Matrix, all of this is culty. It's culture. Culture is a cult. It's in the name. Like, people don't understand that etymology matters. Look at what the words mean. What are the subwords in the words? Culture, cultivated. You know, like a huge, massive cult in America is the sports teams. The sports teams, by the way, which are all rigged. They're all by the number. They're all by gematria, which is what I discussed yesterday with Dana, and we didn't get too far into the gematria. But if you understand gematria, if you start watching some of these people that decode gematria, in fact, if you start watching Zachary Hubbard's videos, I posted a link to him yesterday. He actually has Gematria Effect News. He will break down by the numbers, like say right now we're in football season. He'll break down by the numbers all the football teams, and he will tell you who's going to win and why and by how many points and which numbered jersey, you know, whoever, which player is going to do this, that, and the other. It is all by the number. We live in a computer simulation matrix. It is written. It is all written. This is a computer code. So if anybody's into gambling, not that I promote gambling, but if you're into gambling and you want a surefire win, go over to Gematria Effect News, learn Gematria, and you can bet on all these games and win every time. That's it. It's a cult. Yeah, Troy says, I can't stand sports. It's painful. It is painful. It's bread and circus. We're in a loop. The Romans already did this. We are in a loop. Those times, those epochs, those times end via cataclysm, and then they just restart the sim, and here we are. And then there's ancient ruins that are left over, and we're like, where did all the people go? Where did the dinosaurs go? Where did the giants go? Where did the people of Egypt go? Where did the Mayans go? This goes so deep, and I found someone on YouTube that really dissects this and has ancient text to back it up. And I'm going to start, I don't know how to do this quite yet, but technology. I'm going to start playing his videos. So I'm going to have to do this on my laptop, like playing a snippet of his videos, and then I'll like tell my knowledge. I'll put my knowledge on top of it because it's very parallel, even though my knowledge all came from a channel, my open galactic channel, and his knowledge came from him researching a lot, most of the ancient texts that people can't get their hands on. It's all written. It is all written. We are in a loop. That's what the times are. According to this scholar, we're on 138-year loops. That's why civilizations just pop up out of nowhere. And civilizations disappear out of nowhere. It is an event. It is an extinction event. But humans always come back. And all they do is they write the code. They write the cult. They write the culture. That's all this is. It's bread and circus. The Romans had their bread and circus. You know, we can find ancient texts to support that. We have our bread and circus. Alcohol is huge. And, you know, these sports teams. All sports. All of it. It pains me when I see people who have children in college and they're like very successful, like their children are very successful college, like football players. You know, they're very, very good and very successful. And I'm just like, oh my God, don't send them down this path, because once you are attached to the Matrix program, I mean, we all are, but once you are really in it, the awakeners who watch my page, read my writings, understand what I speak about, we are getting out of the sim. That's why they war upon us. They want us back in. They can't control us. We're getting out. But those who choose to participate and consent to the sim, consent to being expired by the number. Every celebrity death, every politician death, every sports person death, anyone who is, you know, high on the totem pole as far as like the media or whatever on the world stage. All of their deaths are by the number, and they can be predicted if you understand gematria. There are kill codes. Everything is numeric. We're in a computer program. Everything is numeric, and the numbers hold frequencies. So not only is it written numerically, but it's also a frequency. So there are numerous kill codes. So for instance, 38 is a kill code. So on March 8, every year, 3/8, you know that somebody's going to die or get murdered, or they're going to be suicided. Oops, they committed suicide. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. They're in the sim. And the reason they do this is to perpetuate fear, pain, trauma, because people in the sim idolize, they practice idolatry. Most of these people just idol worship the absolute worst humans in the world. But because they're famous, they worship them. And then when they off those people, an entire sector of humans mourn the death. Oh, they did so much. They did so much for the Matrix. They made so much money for the Matrix. They were such a good mouthpiece for the Matrix. It's cults. We are in a cult. That is all this is. Cult, cult, cult. Cult of personality. Culture. They cultivate humans. That's it. That's it. And we are at the end of the age. We are in the end times. We are done here. So soon, it's already begun, the cultures are going to disappear. Just like the Mayans, just like the Romans, just like the giants, just like the dinosaurs. This is nothing new. This is nothing new. This is known. It is written in the Bible. Revelations, the apocalypse. The beginning and the end is written in the Bible. Genesis to Revelations. That's all you need to know in the Bible. The rest is bullshit, jibber jabber, blabber, babble. They keep you stuck in your cult, so you try to dissect the Bible that doesn't make any goddamn sense, and you will never make sense of it. Because it's not in its entirety. It's pieces of ancient texts. And we have dark and light here. We have dark texts and we have light texts. And the ones who want to control the population utilize the dark texts. So I hate to say it, but those of you up in your Bible, you're not worshiping the God you think you're worshiping. True that. And if anyone wants to get out of their cult, their belief, their faulty belief system, and actually stand back and dissect their belief and dissect what they're reading and trace it back to the ancient text, then you will see. You will see. You will see. It's all written. It's all written. This is nothing new under the sun. Nothing new under the sun ever, 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 ever. Let's see. Okay, so Zach. Okay, so Craig says, what's his name? So Zach Hubbard or Zachary Hubbard. When I get off the live, I'll post his YouTube and Facebook pages. In my post, in my post yesterday, not my live, but the post before my live, I linked his Facebook page. So Zachary, I believe he goes by Zachary K. Hubbard. And then he has a lot of channels. He speaks so much truth and decodes this entire matrix that he's on maybe his 26th or 27th YouTube channel because he keeps getting deleted. And this guy's prolific. He goes live every day. He's written several books. He has so much content and they just like click, delete. So I think he's up to like 26 or 27 YouTube pages now or some shit. So, yeah, learn gematria. That'll wake your ass right up. right up. Like, damn. Soon as I found gematria, and Dana was talking about this yesterday as well when we went on our live together, as soon as you can make sense of things and you can see it plainly, it'll blow your mind wide open. There's nothing new under the sun. Nothing. Okay, let's see. Craig says, well, Troy said, yeah, money. Everything's money related. Everything is to keep the humans busy and to keep the humans paying the dark ones at the top of the pyramid. All your money rolls up to the top. And then they, shoot dick rockets to Mars with your money, or whatever they're doing. Blasting asteroids in space. Hello, we live in a dome. Who's getting out of the dome? There's a firmament around it. Some say the firmament is waters. So who's going through the dome? When you see SpaceX, those SpaceX launches, SpaceX goes like this, and then it curves with the dome. And then where the fuck does it go? This shit is such a falsity, I cannot. We have to come on. Come on. We got to open the eyes, the third and the fourth, and forget this bullshit, because this shit will lie to you. All this media bullshit. Okay, so Craig says he's been feeling culture disappear for years now. As people wake up, they're just going to drop this shit. Like Dana and I said yesterday, people consent and participate with their money constantly. So for instance, there's this big hubbub about Balenciaga being, child trafficking or, doing inappropriate modeling shoots with children, and they're very satanic and they're very demonic, and there's blood and bondage and crazy shit, right? All this underground conspiracy theory stuff that the ones who are in the know talk about, and we know that this shit exists constantly. This is all that exists in this world right now. Oh shit, I just lost my train of thought. Culture disappearing. Oh, thank you. Okay, I always come back. But then Dana brought up the show called Cuties, Cuties, on Netflix. How it was about a bunch of kids. I don't even know. I didn't watch it, and I try not to pay attention to this shit because it's all bullshit. It's all an infection for your mind. And I don't like to consent to being infected in my mind. That's why the last 2 years of what they've been doing with the infection in the mind, I do not consent. So anyway, Cuties was on Netflix, and Cuties, I don't know, there was children, and it was a little pedophilia, and older men were fawning over these children that were in a dance troupe or a model troupe. I don't really know. It doesn't matter. It's all the same shit. And people were outraged. Oh my God, save the children. Oh my God. But let me ask you a question. Did you cancel your Netflix? Did you? Did anyone cancel their Netflix because you do not want to see child pedophilia on the screen and being produced through Hollywood? No. It's just another day in the news cycle. Then everybody forgets about it. And now here we are, Balenciaga. It's just a loop. We are in time loops. It's all written. It's a script. We already did this script. This script flips constantly. So let's see. Who's going to cancel Balenciaga? Kim Kardashian? The queen of Balenciaga? Kanye? The king of Balenciaga? Who's going to cancel them? So anyway, here we go. Just more cult shit. Just more culty shit. This is the dark realm. This is the dark's game. This is their game. The only way to not participate is to not consent and unplug. Troy just said, unplug. Unplug from the cable for 9 years. When I woke up, so in 2017, I had a soul exchange. I had a walk-in. I was this lowly, traumatized, sad human. And within the span of an hour, I went into meditation, and a different aspect, a goddess, an essence of God, dropped into my body. This is technology. Our avatars are technology. This is higher realm technology. This exists. The dark use it, and it's used for the light. So this happened to me, through me, for me, with me. And this is how I got super expanded. And as soon as I woke up, I knew that any and all black box technology is demonry, fuckery. The frequency that comes through the cell phones, the television, the computers, and also the black cube of Mecca, it's all a mirror. Everything is a mirror of the next fucking thing. There's nothing new under the sun. It's all the same shit. The frequency is like poltergeist. So if you guys know the movie Poltergeist, and the little girl is in front of the TV with her hands on the TV and it's just static. And then she turns and she says, "They're here." That is literally what the TV is. It's static for your brain. When you input crap, shit, junk constantly, it literally brainwashes you and it literally turns your brain into mush. So in my awakening process, I was not watching a lot of TV when I used to be addicted. That was another cult. I was addicted to reality TV. Drink my wine, watch my reality TV. I mean, I was tragically suburban. Tragically. I was in the cult, hook, line, and sinker. So when I woke up, I saw everything. And yeah, April says, I got downloads that the frequency they put stuff out at puts us to sleep. Yes, it's a theta sleep state. It turns our brain into mush, all of it. That's why we put tablets in front of our children at 6 months old. You know? So I woke up, I had this awakening and this opening. And I was like, fuck TV, like, gross. Like, I will not be brainwashed. Because when that aspect comes in, it's not Erin any longer. This bitch knows some shit. She's not from Earth. She's off Earth. And she's in my avatar, reading my memories, sobbing because of what she sees through my eyes on this earth. And her first words to me were, this has gotten so bad. And I was sobbing as her. This has gotten so bad. I cannot believe what they have done to Earth and the humans. It's bad. This is an experimental realm. That's why we have the medical system. That's why we have organ harvesting. That's why people can go order a new liver and a new this and a new that. It's experimentation on humans. You got to be ready for my information. You have to be ready for my information. It's no holds barred 100% of the time. I speak what I see through two aspects. My human aspect, who has experienced this bullshit, piece of shit humanity, and the aspect that came through for these end times. And she takes no shit. So when I get stern, or if I start to get really fierce with my words, you know who you're dealing with. She's pure fire. She's the volcano. She's pure creation, and she is pure destruction, as a volcano is. And it's no coinky-dink that most of the largest dormant volcanoes around the earth are currently erupting, because we are in the end. We're done. We're done here. We're done here. This place is filth, and it all will be rid. And they're all going to be taken care of. TikTok. My writings for the last 5 years, I have said TikTok motherfuckers, and now we're about there. We're about there. This filth cannot go on. What they do to humans is disgusting. And the more you awaken and the more you take down your own personality overlays that you consent to, that you buy into for yourself, you will start to see what is actually going on in this world. So I woke up, I knew this thing about the TV, and at the time I had a roommate, and he's like, hey, I want to watch this movie. I think it was Contact or some shit, some alien movie, whatever. And he's like, do you want to watch the movie? And I'm like, oh God, you know, I'm like, okay, I'll sit through it. And I was just like, this is my face. Like, it's so fake. Like, if you think about Hollywood and these actors, acting is lying. If you're not operating from your sovereign voice and you're pretending to be someone else, you are a fucking liar. For what? Why do you lie? Why do you get paid millions upon millions upon millions of dollars on top of a millions upon millions of dollars production to lie to the public? I mean, does anybody think about this shit? Yeah, TikTok, their time is over. Goddamn right. So, I'm watching this stupid movie, and I'm like, first of all these motherfuckers are liars. They're bad. They're bad. Like, acting is so stupid to me. It's so futile. I can't even. I don't know how people can watch these people. Why do you want to lie to me through a frequency mechanism? What are you trying to mind control me with? What are you, what is the agenda that you're pushing? What is the story that you want to map in my brain? Like, and then this movie was about like Isla Fisher, I think, and like some other like Tom Hardy bro, some shit. You know, like, oh, these alien pods landed and now we have to try to figure out how to communicate with them. I can't with these humans. This is Dum Dum 101. Everything's telepathic. That's how you communicate. And you're filthy. Your mind is filthy. You are riddled with programs. You are riddled with faulty belief systems, and you worship a false god. So no alien is going to come up and talk to you telepathically because they do not want to enter your filthy mind, body, spirit, and soul. That's it. That's it. When your channel is open and you are purifying your being, you can speak with whoever you want. I have instant access to whoever I want. I can go look at whoever I want to look at any time. It's called astral travel. This is the technology housed within our avatars. We all have it. Actually, 1/3 have it, not all. The bots who are connected to the matrix do not have it because their god is the AI in the computer system. The 1/3 who house the organic template are open-hearted beings. 1/3 at the most of this population. Once you purify your being, then you have access to your divine technology. There's no coincidences and there's nothing new under the sun. This is like duh 101. This is how we operate when we are in a living organic realm. But because we live in a death realm full of control and manipulation and experimentation and trauma and sexual deviancy and medication and pharmacia, all of that shit. That's we are dirty. This place is dirty. You know, a place in a dome where they detonate atom bombs. We're in a dome. We're in a controlled dome. If you poison one person, you poison the all. And there's nothing we can do about it except find the God within. Purify your own bullshit. Identify your cults of personality and start to destroy them. That is the narrow path. They call it the narrow path for a reason, because most people want to remain in their comforts and they want to remain in the false money system, and they want to go to a baseball game and a football game, and they want to root for a team or a player, and they want to drink their beers, and they want to pay hand over fist to do it. when you can sit back, decode the whole thing, type a little bet in your computer, and you can win. Because all of this is rigged. I'm not condoning or advocating for betting or what is that called? Gambling. But if you want to make a little cash, learn a little gematria. Bet against the matrix and you shall win. That's it. Yep, Troy says surrender and let go. It is. It's a surrender of all your belief systems. And it's very, very difficult. But it's not difficult if you just stand back and be an observer. People get so emotionally tethered, and that's the problem. To get out of this realm and to avoid the apocalypse for what's coming for the 2/3, for the Satanists, for the ones in the upside down, for the ones worshiping a false god. To avoid that, you have to become the God within. There is no God outside. The God is within. And that is your organic blueprint. It is your divine template. That's it. So the more that you can remove your personality overlays and back away, you have to detach and you have to emotionally clear that from your body, then you will become free. This is why people have mental illness. This is why people have anxiety in their body, because things live in our avatar that we don't know how to get rid of and let go. And just in general, all of the earthlings upon earth are being lied to and manipulated constantly, taken for all of our money. You know, you got to pay taxes on the taxes that you just paid and then pay more taxes. For what? I am a sovereign being who came through a portal to get on this planet. I came through a womb portal to be earthed onto earth. Where's the contract that I signed that said I have to pay to fucking live here? And in whose society, whose cult? This is the biggest bunch of shit I've ever seen. When we live one with nature, we don't need this shit. We are nature beings. The organics are natural to earth. Troy emoting, I too cried for a year as well. What a blessing to let it all go finally. Absolutely. Absolutely. When you start to wake up and understand what you've participated in, what you've consented to by your bad behavior, I had to account and atone for all of my bad behavior. And still to this day, if I ever have bad behavior, I must account and atone. We have to, each human is responsible, fully responsible for their energetic output, for their energetic input and output and how they show up in the world. Period. If I was this me when I was 20 and 30, I would not have made the choices that I did then that led me on this, oh yeah, yeah. What was I going to say? Basically I made a lot of bad choices. And that's because I wasn't in my organic template. I was living the way I thought I had to live based on what the cult was telling me I had to live. You know, you go to school and then you go to college and then you get married. Now, this is for like, you know, a straight woman or whatever. We're not talking about anything else, just my own experience. I speak about my personal experience that hopefully it will resonate and you can apply it to your own experience. You know, in my experience, in my programming, in my cult, you know, that's what you do. But in fact, my dad told me I didn't even need to go to college because he was so old school. He's like, it doesn't matter if a woman goes to college. You're going to get married anyway. And I'm like, but I want to go to college. So I went to a little college, and then I was like, I don't want to do this. So anyway, you know, you get married, and then you have the kids, and then you're tragically suburban, and then that's just your fucking life until you die, and then you work at a company until you die. This is not living. You are in the rat race for a reason. You're a rat. You're being experimented on like Mickey Mouse. Everything is a mirror of another thing. Everything. There's nothing new here. It's templates and mirrors. Okay. Craig says it's all about that gematria gamble. Hell yeah. I mean, they've got forums. These bros have forums. There's a lot of, it's mostly men in these forums, and that's how Dana and I met each other, is we were both just a couple of the women that were in these forums, and so we kind of bonded. There are more women now, and in fact, Kayla, Kayla, Kayla the Decoder, is a woman on YouTube. She has her YouTube page called that. And she decodes things right along with the boys. It's kind of a boys club, you know, another cult. And this is a thing, okay? This is a thing about gematria. If you want to decode the matrix, learn gematria. But what I see with these bros, these gematria bros, is that they spend their entire life and they have feeds that are super successful. They're making a lot of money at it, which is great. But they talk about the same thing day in, day out. Because when you talk about the headlines and the sporting events and the deaths and the suicides, it's all the same shit day in, day out. So once you learn it, it's yet another thing to keep the humans busy and to keep the humans away from purifying their actual template and their actual soul. Right? You could decode the matrix all day long, but it doesn't matter because the matrix is falling apart. The matrix will be gone soon. So when the matrix is no longer standing, where are you? Where is your soul? Where is your heart? Have you purified? So as an awakener, you can get stuck down these rabbit holes. It's like the Q movement. You know, Q or Trump. There's a plethora of shit. People believe that they're being a patriot. People believe that it's the good guy versus the bad guy. But it's actually all the same computer program, and the ones at the top rule the all. So unless you are decoding your own matrix and removing and detaching yourself from it so that they do not have control over you, then you're still participating in it. You know, that's how it works here. Every single thing is to keep the humans busy. It's to keep the humans away from their own divinity at the end times. This is also a harvesting realm. Not only do they experiment on humans, but they also harvest them because the dark essences need avatars to jump into. So when you see these people, especially on the television, who have no soul in their eyes, you know something's up. Or when you see the clones and they start to malfunction. All the clones are malfunctioning right now. Like, it is so obvious if one would just step away and see what they're dealing with. Oh, damn, Troy, that's hardcore. Both of his parents committed suicide before he was 13. He said, I was thrown into this shithole alone. That kind of shit will wake you up instantly. Most people who have awakened because they have had some dastardly shit happen to them. Dastardly, that like does not make sense to your essence. Like, how can that make sense? And suicide is a program in the matrix. People don't commit suicide. Their demons, their attachments, their programs tell them that they need to do that for whatever reason. It's a virus. It's a program. It's a virus. It's very dastardly. And most people that you see, like celebrity-wise, that say when they claim they commit suicide, that's inaccurate. They are taken out by the number. That's why I call it suicided, because it's murdered by the numbers. The police, hi Earl, the police, the singing group, the Police with Sting, in the 80s, they have a song about gematria. It's called Murder by Numbers. 1, 2, 3 equals ABC. Or how does it go? It's as easy as ABC, 1, 2, 3. Go read. Like, we have to start reading the lyrics of these old songs. I would just mindlessly sing these songs, and that's how they put the frequency into our bodies. And then we emit that. And it's murderous. Like, I've been going, like, when I went through my death last winter, it was the first time that I could actually input frequencies. So when my channel came through and I was busted wide open, all I did was write. I was bringing so much higher dimensional divine knowledge through my vessel. I am a knowledge keeper. I'm an ancient knowledge keeper. It's like a virtual Alexandria library, essentially. And so I could not input, and I knew what the TV was. I knew what movies were. I knew that all of Hollywood is Babel. It's the Tower of Babel. And go look at the definitions of the words that I speak, because it's important. And that's how this realm works. That's why they call it culture and cultivating. It's a cult, right? This is the Tower of Babel. Hollywood is the Tower of Babel. So when I woke up and I realized all of this, I could not, my body refused to intake frequencies. I couldn't intake. I couldn't watch anything. It was disgusting. This was my face. Like, what is this bullshit? It's like literally watching, like, for me, like farm animals, like pigs rolling around in shit. That's what watching a movie to me is. Like, why the fuck would I want to watch pigs rolling around in shit? And then knowing that they're going to go get slaughtered and then humans are going to eat them. That's what watching movies to me was. Like, absolutely disgusting. However, last year when I went into my death and I went into a hibernation, I was like, you know what? I want to start decoding movies. I want to start decoding my own cult, my own culture. So I was hibernating. I didn't want to talk to anybody. So what I ended up doing was I started rewatching movies that I grew up with, so that I could recognize the programming that was embedded in me and where my cult came from, where my belief systems came from. And holy shit, I'm telling you, when you go into a movie and you don't watch it as entertainment, movies aren't entertainment. That is a falsity. They are a mind control. They push an agenda, always, in all ways. Every movie, everyone, every single. The entire point of Hollywood is to formulate the masses, put them into their little sections and mind control them. And all of a sudden, like, new words come out, and then you can also see how the fashion, it's the same fashion every 30 years. How many people go to fashion school, whatever that's called? Millions of people go to fashion school, whatever the fuck that's called. And we have millions of creatives out there creating fashions, but yet every 30 years, the same style of jeans show up in every single retail shop. Every 30 years. Oh, bell bottoms are back. Oh, boot cut is back. Oh, the skinny leg just went out. But don't worry, if you keep it in 30 years, you'll be back in fashion. It's the same shit. Over and over and over and over and over and over and over. So anyway, when I went to go watch these movies and decode my own shit, it was a real eye-opener. A real eye-opener. I was watching the fashion of the day, the hairstyles, the way people spoke, the music. If you watch any of the 80s music, and it's all like this crazy electronica, like synth, like I just watched Fletch. And it's like this crazy fucking synth. I'm like, what is this frequency that they were pumping into our brains? So if you stand back as an observer and like just watch all the aspects and really hear the words that are coming out of these people's mouths, it's filth. It's absolute inconsequential filth. It's baffling to me. Baffling. All right, you guys, how long have I been talking? I don't even know when I went on. Will somebody put how long the video has been going in the comments for me real quick? When I start to output like this and I get real like fierce and like, rah, 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 it really exhausts me. I can only do it for so long. And then I'm like, I'm exhausted. I'm not going to look on my own tablet, actually. Is there anything else that anybody wants to talk about with the cult of personality? How our personalities are weaved by the matrix and by the cults that we subscribe to? $10 minutes? Oh, you can't find the timestamp. Okay. I don't even know. What time is it? It's 8. I might have started around 6:45. I don't think quite 7. So I've probably been going on at least an hour, I think. All right. I've said enough. Honestly, this is enough. It was a lot. It's always a lot. So as usual, thank you guys for being here. Friday Fun Day, Friday Foukery. Oh, 1:16, an hour and 16. Yeah, that's about right. That's about when I hit it's about when I start to cap out. So, all right, you guys, have a wonderful weekend. I don't think that I'm going to do the lives on the weekend. I'm just trying to figure out what's comfortable and probably give myself the weekend off, and we'll start back up next week. And I'm also going to start doing private videos for like Zoom classes. Thank you, Troy. Thank you, Tammy. Thank you, Craig. Thanks for all the information, you guys. So yeah, I'm going to start, like, I am a knowledge keeper. I hold a lot of really deep knowledge. And so the stuff that is more sensitive, let's say, or really like mystery school type stuff, I think I'm going to do in private classes. For those who desire to learn. You know, Facebook is public, and then I put these on my public YouTube. While I find this to be very helpful for people, I want to kind of go into and speak freely about some structured material that's really underground, deep mystery school stuff. Oh, you lost my YouTube link. It's Elm Awakening, ELM Awakening. So just plug me in, you'll see the tree. Or if you go to, let's see, I think on my Facebook profile, I have my link tree. So if you click my link tree link, then it'll show you I have a Patreon. You can buy me a coffee. You can donate to the Temple Elm. This is the temple that I'm building. You can find my YouTube, find my Instagram. Everything is under Elm Awakening so far, but I am building Temple Elm. So things might change, but I'm not certain. It's been this way for years now, so. Tammy, she says, I read your stories on here. Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, I don't post a lot on my wall any longer for about the last year. I used to be really prevalent writing and channeling constantly. But I took a break. I needed to pull back from just being on social media and being in the black box structure. That's another reason why I get so exhausted, is because I'm outputting a lot of deep information and I get really stern about it. I get very passionate about it. But also, as you can see in my glasses, like I have a ring light above me, which is really fucking jarring for lighting. You know, I'm staring into my phone. All of that, like, this is very jarring to me. I don't, my body does not like a lot of this technology. And I talked about on my live yesterday how I got attacked by 5G telephone frequencies really, really bad. It collapsed me. It left me basically brain dead. And then my body just started convulsing and throwing up. Like 5G is no joke. And I experienced like a full force attack through my cell phone. And it started in my hands. My hands went numb, up my arm and into my entire body and up into my brain. I have felt what that feels like. When I go near a tower, I can feel the frequencies in my body. I'm very wide open. This is how I understand this realm so well. I can intuit all of it. And my body is a beacon. If I go in somewhere and there's mold, I already know. My body, you know, my body tells me what is poison, what is not good, what's happening. That's why on this awakening path, I say that I rest a lot. And I take care of my body because our bodies tell us. We don't need the world and the matrix telling you what to eat, how much to eat, you know, a pyramid scheme of like the food pyramid and shit. This is all a scheme. If you cut shit out from your body and you just listen and sit with your body will tell you what it wants. You are a perfect piece of technology. But all of the culture overlays completely put static in our body and in our mind. It's the poltergeist. They're here. That's what that is. These frequencies completely mess us up. They are not compatible with an organic technology. So all of this gets very exhausting to me, especially this ring light, you know, but there's just not another way for lighting unless I'm doing this during the day. So but I was saying I don't post much on my Facebook wall, but I post stories all the time, and I was getting censored a lot. Like I'm still restricted. I'm always on a 90-day restriction. My posts are always at the bottom of the feed, always. It's been that way for like a year. And that's why I stopped posting on my wall, because every single thing that I would post would get flagged, even if I wasn't posting anything crazy. So I found that if I post stories, I am least or less likely to get flagged. I still get flagged because I'm still on the list. I'm never, you know, like it's December now and they'll be like, oh, a post you shared in February 2021 goes against our community standards. You're now on the 90-day list again. You know, just fuckery, just absolute fuckery. It's bullshit. So anyway. All right, you guys, thank you for being here. You honor me with your presence, and thank you for allowing me to share in this container. I appreciate you, and I appreciate you for letting me just speak freely as me. You know, this is just me. I'm just showing up as me. If you guys would like to donate to the work that I'm doing, this is my work. This is my life work. This is my daily work. I am no longer in that matrix system because every time I go in, I get kicked out. And this is where I hold value through lived experience. And I'm able to help people going through this. And I'm going to be opening up for sessions soon as well. So if you'd like to buy me a coffee, which is like a $5 little donation, there's a link you can donate that accepts any credit cards. It's not a banking app. Anything that you want to give to Temple Elm, I gladly receive with deep appreciation. Because what I am building is for the all. It is for the ones who find me and need this information. We are collaborating. This is a collaboration. I can't do this without you and vice versa. Like this is the container. This is the give and receive. So thank you guys. Have a good Friday. Have a good weekend. And I'll probably be back on Monday. and we'll just roll on with some new topics. And if anybody wants to be a guest and come on and share, much like Dana did yesterday, I am happy to do that. I would love to hear other people's stories, and would just love to share with you guys. All right, I'll see you later. Bye.